Good morning and welcome back to the hideaway. Got in last night well after dark, so I didn't try to shoot anything then, but getting ready for hunting season, archery specifically, and I picked up, and I'll show you a little video of that.
This is what a happy hunting season looks like. Archery elk, rifle or archery bear, archery deer.
3 different tags. I have an elk tag, a mule deer tag, and a bear tag. So we'll see how things go with that. But the other real important reason to be up here is I got to start prepping for winter. I've got to clean my chimney and my wood burning stove first and foremost. It's been a lot cooler, just above freezing at night now, so it's a little chilly in the cabin, and looks like we're going to be getting more rain today. We got almost 3 inches over the last couple of weeks, so it has been wet, and it's a great way to go into fall, having some beautiful moisture in here. But I also have to get over here and work on my snowmobile, get that ready for the year. I've got a big pile of wood that I want to chop up and get into the wood shed. And inside the countertops, if you remember how I did them, they were 2x6s, and I squared them up real good on a planer, and I glued them together, and that's how I created our countertops. Well, I also then clear coated them, but around the sink where there's water all the time, the clear coat is starting to break down a little bit. So I brought some of that with, so I'll clear coat around there. It's really just getting this place ready so when it does snow for the first time or freeze, I don't have to worry about a thing. But for now, we're going to get started with some breakfast. I already went down this morning early and checked trail cams. I've got some great trail cam videos, so there might be a longer montage of trail cam video than normal, but we'll put that in as well. And just kind of what's going to go on, do a bunch of scouting. Season doesn't open for a couple of days yet, so I'm going to try to start calling and bugling for elk to make them know that I'm around and doing things. And we'll see. If I get no calls back, I'll head home on Tuesday, or actually probably Monday night. I'll come back then a week from today to see if the rut has begun at that point or not. So I don't know what we're going to have on this video, but whatever it is, hope you enjoy it.
So I'm on my trail down from my trail cam, and you'll see some fun stuff on there, but this is what lions do when they're done pooping. Cover it up and hide what they did. Down below, there has been some pretty big crunching of trees. So I'm just going to stand here for a while. See if I can't hear or see something. But this is going to be probably the area that I spend most of my time glassing, to see if I can't find an elk to sneak up on. Pretty sure I found where one of the bears likes to nap. See how it's kind of cupped out underneath this tree where it's super shady? That is bedding place for a bear.
I've really been trying to cut back on my carbohydrate consumption. So you're going to see me eating a lot of things like sausage, eggs, steaks, burgers, dogs, things like that now. And by dogs, I mean hot dogs, not dogs. So anyway, this is breakfast, and I'll have more leftovers like this for lunch. Not sure how well this will show up, but right here is where my issues are. You can see it's drying out and kind of cracking and stuff. So this is where I'm going to fill in. And since it just finished raining outside and too wet to do anything out there, I think we will take care of this right now and see how it turns out. I decided to tape it off, so I just was doing this one area. I do think I've got the matching in a semi-gloss to this, but I just in case, I marked with the grains to make sure it'd be right. So let's give it a try. Well, it's super shiny now, but it should settle in nicely. So we'll take a peek at it in a few hours. Now I can go outside and start working on my chimney because the sun came out and it's drying everything off. Yes, this is what it does every afternoon in Colorado. If you look real close, you can see there are 3 grouse standing on the road down there. I'm going to walk and see if I can't get a little bit closer, but a couple of days, it's grouse season as well. And I only take one at a time. You can take like 3 a day, and I would never do that because I love them too much, but they also taste incredible. So I will get one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. All right, I'll let them go do their thing. Now that the rain is gone, it's time to start harvesting some of these guys. Those are puffball mushrooms. There's another one right there. If I go up over here, another one. They're everywhere. And what's really interesting, I just ate one and I just washed it off with some water and popped it in my mouth. It has a very smooth and buttery flavor to it. You can tell it's a mushroom, but the buttery taste to it is amazing. So I'm gonna pick a bunch of these, probably cut them up and do them with my steaks tonight. Okay, not sure how much time we have left, but we're gonna go to work right now. These are the tools of the trade. So this will actually plug into the end of my drill like that. And then at the end, we'll thread this on right here. And this is what we'll use to go down the chimney to get it all clean inside. So let's go get the top off, up the ladder, and go to work. I'm not going to film this whole thing. If you want to see it, I did it last year when I was preparing, so you can look back into one of my videos to find that. But it is time. Ooh, clouds are still pretty dark and ominous. But it's time to get up there, take the cap off, and start cleaning it up. It's actually in pretty good shape. If you get really close in here, you can still see through and how nice and clean it is. But hey, it's always good to start the year correctly, or the winter. Well, I rushed to finish the outside, so I didn't video any of that because it looks like there's another set of clouds and rain coming in. So we're going to try to get this cleaned up. Only need a couple of tools of the trade. And we've got to remove all of the inside bricks. And I'm going to finally, after 5 years, replace my grating that's inside. So these are the fire bricks that I have. That I have inside, and I'll get those pulled out. Then I'll get to clean. I would say that's had its better days and time to be replaced. There you go. Nice and clean inside. Looks good for 5 years. I'll put all the parts back in it and I'll show you again. Well, there you go. New grate in. Had to put a new fire brick in the back because I had a little situation with the brick as I was taking it out. Busted it up. But I'll finish cleaning up around here and we are ready to go for the winter. Everything clean and safe again. So here we go, a little practice time. I got to thank the guys at Bear Creek Archery. I'll tag them in this as well. They have been doing an amazing job getting me set up. They paper tuned me earlier and they got me some new arrows to work with, and they're called the Black Eagle Rampage, and I am just shocked at how well they shoot. So I had to also go to 125 grain tip. We're trying to shoot elk, and they're a lot bigger animals, so you need a little bit more weight behind your arrows. So let's take a few shots at 20. We'll back up and go further and further from there, but let's give this a try. This is my first time shooting these arrows after it's been tuned up out here at the cabin. I've been practicing a lot at home, but I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, but let's take a couple of shots at this real quick. Go take a look. Well, obviously I need a lot more warm up. Looks like we got one where it was supposed to go. The other two I went right on. So I'm going to keep taking a few more shots here, then back up to 30 and see what I can do. I might try to put some in over here as well. So anyway, practice, practice, practice. Got to be ready for that when that elk or that deer walks out. That's dinner for you. Grilled corn on the cob, grilled tenderloins from my elk last year. And I sauteed those puffball mushrooms in butter and poured all the butter and mushrooms on top of the elk steaks. I can't wait to dig into this one. All right, here we go. First fire of the season. We'll see if it works. Got to fill it up with ash again, but it's cold in here. I need to warm it up so I can go to bed. One match, and it's going. I love a clean stove. Well, good morning. Great night's sleep last night. It got cold and I had to actually run the fireplace for the first time this year, so I'm excited about that. But I'll give you a couple of thoughts on how this isn't as easy as you think. There's a lot of maintenance and upkeep that go into having something like this. I know that I just had to revarnish these skis and these old snowshoes because they were starting to deteriorate, and even though it's just decoration, still want to keep things in good shape. The other thing that I have to do today that has directly to do with maintaining an off-grid property is that I need to get my snowmobile ready to go, so I have to replace fuel lines for that, and I have to also change the intake manifold on my white four-wheeler that works so hard for me. So it's not always just sitting out in the woods and enjoying yourself, which that is a huge part of why we do this. There's a lot of upkeep and time you have to spend keeping the place ready to go at all times. So I'm going to get these remounted up, and the rest of the day will just be busy work continuing to get ready for winter as I continue to try to call elk and deer in just to see where they're at. Shoot, I gotta remember how I have these in here. That went through there. That went through there. Beautiful. Snowshoes up, skis back up, and they've got a new fresh coat of varnish on them, so even though they look a little bit rough, they're actually protected for the winter. Now a little chair upkeep. All right, another end of summer, beginning of winter task done. The chairs are white again. Now it's time to restain this. This is where we obviously brush our teeth, wash our hands all the time, and it is just absorbing water now. So we'll get some sealant on here, and we should be getting pretty close to being done with inside tasks ready for the winter again. Dead center of the screen is a great big 10-point buck. He's been coming by here. I've caught him up there multiple times over the last few weeks. All right, next job of the day, replace this. That's an intake manifold, and it goes between the carburetor and the piston, and it's where it injects, gets its air and fuel from. And mine is cracked on there, and I think that's the reason this thing is running a little bit rough. So it's literally two bolts, and that's it. Very simple process. So I'll get this done and we'll start it up. Okay, here you can see the old one. You see the cracks and stuff in it. It was pretty beat up. And now, up in there is my new one, all tightened in, good to go. Next stop, the snowmobile. All right, here's the next thing. I've got a cracked fuel line here and a brand new fuel line here. So we're gonna replace that. Then I brought some starter fluid, and I'm going to spray a little bit of that into the carb and see if we can't get this thing to fire up. Let's go. right, some idle adjusting and some cable tensioning and running like brand new. Woohoo! We are ready for winter with this bad boy. Let's go. You can see I'm working on getting this cleaned out so I can get back in there, put a whole bunch more wood in. Got all my tools out first. I go take this into the house because it's some good firewood for right now. We've had a bunch of pack rats in here tearing this up. So I got their nests all cleaned up. Now I'm going to chop a bunch of wood and I'm going to see if I can't fill this thing all the way up. And then pretty much winter tasks are done. And it's going to be time to worry about hunting. A lot of nice wood in here. This huge pile over here, the ones we're going to cut up. Ooh. Little guys like this, I'm just going to burn in my fire pit. A little tip. This log has a natural crack right here. So I'm going to take my maul and try to hit it right on the crack and it should split pretty good. It's the key. Try not to hit too deep this way into it. Hit it more on the edge, right where a crack is, and these things split like nothing. That's how you split a big piece of wood. Well, that's the pile I made out of about a third of those big rounds. That's it. I'm dead. I'm going to put them now into the shed and we're going to call it good for the day. Well, there you go. That's the fullest, is that a word, fullest? Most full? Fuller? I don't know. It's the fullest I've ever had it. It's a good solid 2 cords in there, and I use maybe 1 cord in the winter. So that's it for now. We're going to call it, and I got to go get something to drink and eat and relax. Wow, what an end to an amazing weekend. I got within 25 yards of that group of deer and the one big, huge buck I'm looking to get, but that'll be next weekend. Think about all the things we got done. Chimney cleaned, fireplace cleaned, 4-wheeler fixed, snowmobile fixed, chopped a pile of wood and got that all put away and organized, sealed up the countertops. So we're ready for winter at the cabin for sure. I'll be back in about 4 days to enjoy a little more time up here, and hopefully the elk will get into rut and we'll hear them bugling. To this point, they have not bugled at all, and I've been trying, but I'm sure real soon the rut will be on. So hope you enjoyed spending this time with me. Please take some time to subscribe and follow if you get a chance, and share me. Love that if you would. Hope you have a great night.